Hey guys, Ivan here, and in today's video we got a couple of interesting bodybuilding updates. It's a slow season, guys, not a lot of things are happening right now, but I think this is also a necessary part of a year in bodybuilding. You gotta have those ups and downs, so once the shows start happening, it's gonna be way more interesting. The first show we got coming up is FIBO Pro this weekend, but before we get to the FIBO, let's talk about some bodybuilding updates. The first thing we got is from Rafael Brandao, who is looking absolutely insane right here. Conditioning-wise, shape-wise, this is looking nuts, man. Now, as far as which show he's doing, well, again, we got FIBO this weekend. The list is not out. I checked, but I don't think he ever spoke about doing FIBO, so I don't know if he's doing that show. As far as the Arnold Classic Brazil, that would make a ton of sense because he's from Brazil. He won that show before. You know, his own people are going to see him at that show, so it would make a lot of sense. So he's probably doing Arnold Brazil, maybe FIBO as well, based on his current look. Yeah, he could be 1 week out. Now, in that guest posing we saw him at, he didn't look great. He looked kind of watery, kind of softish. But on the Menace podcast, Mostafa spoke about how he saw Rafa in a gym somewhere posing, and in person he looked much better than in those photos at a guest posing. So I'm guessing he actually looks much better in real life. And in this photo, we can kind of see what kind of condition he has right now. Now, is there any progress to this physique compared to the last time we saw him on stage, compared to the last year we saw him on stage? No, because as you guys know, he had a stomach issue. He wasn't able to do a proper off-season, and so he didn't make a ton of progress. That was the reason why Neil Hill didn't want to prep him, but he prepped either way. He wasn't peeled for the Arnold Classic Ohio, but he's going to get shredded for the next show. However, he's not going to be super massive. He's going to look kind of like the way he looked back before he started working with Neil Hill, kind of what he looked like when he was working with Krizo a while ago. So maybe a little bit bigger than that. But still, he definitely did not make a lot of progress from what I can see. He's basically his old version with maybe a little bit more details, maybe some extra size, but not a lot, and with pretty good conditioning, I gotta say. So I'm looking forward to seeing him on stage and, you know, seeing if I'm wrong or right. Maybe actually once he peaks, once he carbs up and does everything, he actually ends up looking huge and shredded. So that's definitely a possibility. We'll see. We'll find out soon enough. Now, the next physique update we got is from Krizo, the guy that is, in my opinion, most likely, probably, at least fighting for the win for the New York Pro and Pittsburgh 2026. He has one guy that is going to challenge him truly, and that's a top 8 Mr. Olympia finisher, Tonio Burton. But 2 years ago, when Krizo competed at the Mr. Olympia, he was 7th. Where does Krizo rank today? I'm not sure. At the Prague Pro last year, he was battling it out with Samson, with the best Martin of all time. He did beat Keon Pearson, so Krizo is very, very good. His posing is terrible. He's very clumsy on the stage, but he did improve his back and his glutes. That was a big issue, and he fixed that. If he only learns how to pose properly, and I mean, there are certain things about his structure he cannot change. Like, he has a bit of a wider waist, and some of his muscles are kind of, you know, he doesn't have exactly the perfect shape to certain muscles. But he does have some really freaky body parts, like the arms, like the chest separation as well. He's overall a massive guy, taller, bodybuilder, great condition, overall really freaky, gets super, super shredded every time he's on stage. So he's definitely going to deliver something special to both of those two stages, and he has a really good chance at winning both of those shows, or at least one. Now, like I said, his main competition at that show is Tonio Burton. And we got a new physique update from Tonio Burton, also looking shredded, man. Looking like he's in really good shape. And he had a solid off-season. Remember, his plan originally was to compete at the Arnold, Ohio. He accepted the invitation, but then him and his coach decided to take a year off, take a season off to focus on improving and getting better. I mean, when they originally said that, I thought they were going to take a full year off, but instead they just delayed his off season for like how long? 2 months. So it's not going to make a huge difference in the size that he adds, but I think he's definitely going to be improved, bigger. And also this guy, he doesn't have the widest, the biggest structure. He's a 212 guy, former 212 guy. So Krizo is definitely going to take more space on that stage, but Tonio is very compact, very complete. Has really good structure, a phenomenal back. His back is his strongest point. He also gets really conditioned, really grainy each time he's on stage. So really, I mean, Krizo has the overall wow factor, crazy condition, size, height, width, stuff like that. Crazy arms, crazy stage presence. I would say he's very impressive. But as far as like completeness, I think that's probably more on Tonio's side. I think Tonio is very complete. He's basically like a new Dexter Jackson. Not as good as Dexter, not yet, but he has a similar shape and similar, let's say, level of completeness. You know, small waist, good abs, and great everything, really. Chest, shoulders, arms, back, legs. Name a body part he's missing. You can say that his structure is kind of a little bit smaller. Again, he is a former 212 guy, so yes, he's not exactly a huge guy on stage, but very complete, very symmetrical as well, very proportionate. And no, he doesn't have any synthol anywhere. This guy was a part of a gang. No, there is no synthol in his physique, but he looks great. There's definitely no synthol in Krizo's physique. And when I say synthol, guys, I don't always think about the actual substance. It's called synthol. I'm talking about any kind of oil. And what I'm talking to these bodybuilders, I'm hearing more and more that are actually taking just a lot of gear and putting it in their body parts, like shoulders, like arms. So it could be just test propionate. For all I know, it does the same thing basically, but it doesn't matter. Like Tonio has a good physique. It all looks great. You know, he has good fullness, good symmetry, good balance, great condition as well. You know, he doesn't have as much size as Krizo. Krizo is like a 300-pounder on stage, but because of the completeness, man, it's going to be hard to beat Tonio. So at this point, I'll bet on Tonio Burton to win the Pittsburgh Pro and the New York Pro, but it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be close. I like Krizo's personality, to be honest, guys. I want to see that guy win a massive show like that or shows. But from a bodybuilding perspective, I think Tonio has a more complete physique. What do you guys think? Tell me down below. The next thing we got is just a little something from Wesley Wissers. Now, he's done competing for this season, but he posted this photo in which he's showing us his legs. Now, here in the caption also he says, growth doesn't come from doing more. It comes from doing things that you've been avoiding. Different training, different execution, different mindset. And he's showing us his legs. So the question that I'm thinking in my head is, can he really change his mindset or his training or his execution, do the thing that he has been avoiding, and actually get those legs to be freaking big? Is that possible? I mean, he did progress them in the last offseason. They were bigger on stage, but still they were kind of tiny compared to somebody like Mike Sommerfeld. And Wesley does have some more room to actually, before he reaches the weight capping classic, so he's allowed to put on more size in the legs, and he could have been leaner this year. Let's be honest, guys. He could have been a little bit sharper and drier in the lower back, in the legs as well. So if he manages to put on, let's say, 10 pounds of muscle in the legs, how much of a difference will it be? Because I don't know. Again, he put on a lot of size in the offseason last time, and on the stage, it wasn't a big difference. So I don't think Wesley will ever have great legs, huge legs, but we'll see, guys. I mean, he actually might put his mind into it and progress enough, but do I see him ever beating somebody like Mike Sommerfeld? Nah, no. Even though I want to see him beat Mike, I think Mike is way too good at this point, and Wesley's probably best hope is to be like a top 5 at a Mr. Olympia. But we'll see, guys. You tell me down below whatever you think. All right, the next thing we got is some, well, I don't want to say breaking news, but it's news. Regan Grimes is actually competing at the Texas Pro, so that's his next show. And he has plenty of time to get in really good shape. In his last physique update, he definitely did seem huge, but we kind of saw this before. I mean, he was never 310, I don't think, but he was always massive and full and round in the off-season, but then when he diets down, it all turns out to be just water weight. You know, he gets really fluffy, really bloated in the off-season, and everything just still looks kind of tight. And even on the stage, guys, when he is not exactly super shredded, everything is, you know, full and tight. He doesn't need to have separation. Everything just looks like he's in shape even when he's not. So right now in the off-season, he looks massive and in good condition for this size, but like how much of this is actual muscle? Not that much, not as much as it seems. If it was, he would like win the Mr. Olympia. He would be like top 5 at the Mr. Olympia, but I don't see that happening. He's probably going to lose a ton of this size right here, unfortunately, and he's going to do the Texas Pro. Can he win the Texas Pro? Well, he definitely can. That's definitely a possibility. If Nick Walker doesn't do it, he probably will win. He's going to have guys like Joe Pilacius, probably Jordan Hutchinson, some other great bodybuilders as well. I'm probably missing somebody important. I'm not sure exactly at this moment, but yeah, it could be Nick Walker who does that show. Now, somebody wrote in the comment there, that's probably why Nick Walker isn't doing Texas. He saw Regan was doing it, so he backed away. Somebody's trying to provoke Nick to actually sign up for the show, but I don't think it's going to work that way. If Nick wants to do that show, he's going to do that show. But yeah, right now we know that Regan is doing it. Oh, and yeah, after a long and really successful season for Hassan Mostafa, where his condition got down to sub 5% probably, he decided it's time for a vacation. And this is his training he's doing in his hotel. So yeah, he decided to take some time off to go to a resort, probably eat as much as he possibly can, and finally stop being so peeled and stop torturing himself. Because again, guys, he was probably the most conditioned guy of this entire competitive season. That's going to do it for today's video, guys. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. See you soon, guys. All the best, and bye-bye.